Good morning. I think this is awesome. Great. Thank you. I have a 2018 Audi RS5 with DRC. I lowered it to a zero point 0.8 of an inch with H&R. Now it feels uncomfortable. I read 034 has springs for my car and giving it some consideration. Can you tell me more? Well, I'm not surprised. In my experience and why we started making springs in the first place is we would often install like Eibach or H&R springs. In almost every case, they were always too low and too stiff, which does not work well with the factory dampers. Now, the factory dampers are extremely high quality. I don't know if you've priced out your RS5 stock dampers. They're probably made by Sachs or Bilstein or someone like that, and they're probably like $500 or more each. They could be like $1,500 each. So they're very high quality spring shocks and dampers that come stock in these cars. So what we do is we optimize the height and the stiffness of the spring to continue to work with the factory dampers and give the best possible ride and performance. I personally drive every car that we do springs on. We have an engineering team built of not only highly qualified engineers, but also enthusiasts. So when you buy springs from us, you're buying springs from a company who has, curated the stance, the height, and the ride and performance by people who love Audis and drive Audis and live and breathe Audis and Volkswagens. So we do have we have a new RS5 spring that we optimized specifically for the RS5. It does fit both the coupe and the sportback. I've driven these springs on track. I've driven them on the road. The car looks phenomenal. It rides really nice and it handles substantially better. So I don't think you would have the same feedback with the H&Rs as you would with ours. Something I will warn is on any of these springs in sport mode or in the Dynamic Plus mode, or the Audi Dynamic mode, it is going to feel really stiff and over dampened and possibly bouncy. So typically what we would say is on the street with our springs, run comfort mode, which will feel better than factory sport mode. But when you're on a track, or if you're on a very smooth road with like hardly any bumps or irregularities in the road, then run in sport mode. But as long as you're on like a real world factory road surface, keep in comfort mode with our springs. It's going to be a really phenomenal handling setup.